Hello there. Welcome to another talk. And this talk is called Sex Urges or Unconscious Wounds Manifested. I've done talks like this before. I had a talk, I think last week, where it was called, what was it called again? The Word is Arousal. That was a similar kind of talk. And this is going to be similar. And it's very, very important because it's important that people know, where these arousals are and, where these wounds are, how they manifest. And how do I know this? Well, it was 10 years ago. I was 24. I had this massive, unexpected spiritual awakening out of nowhere. And I went in an inner pathway, a healing pathway. And I've also watched on the internet psychotherapists and sex therapists, and they all use the same word, arousal. I mentioned that in the talk called The Word is Arousal. But there's not just sexual arousals, there's, arousals in terms of how you feel when you react to something. When you're angry, that's that's what an arousal is. It's the thing that penetrates you to make you react, right? So it's not just sexual arousals. Could be, addictions, drugs, alcohol, food. They're all feel-good things that you feel you need. And sex urges are part of it, you see? And the thing is to not fight your urges, whatever they are. Because if you fight, that thing that you're fighting is needing soothed and healed. So the best way to go about it is to just go with what you want. Go with whatever you feel. Whether it doesn't matter what it is. This is what this awakening showed me. And then what you'll notice, whatever addictions it is, whatever is aroused, whatever is attracting you, and then what will happen is you'll let it go. And this is when you're healing. And so we are constantly told to fight whatever we feel. We're told how to be and how not to be. And this creates more problems because this messes us up even more by thinking that there's a problem, right? And there's only a problem because someone made up that there's a problem. Remember, everything is made up by other people, right? There is no right or wrong, because right or wrong is everything's made up. Like what Steve Jobs once said, everything is made up by people who are no more smarter than you. And that's what it is. But back to the topic in hand. These urges, that's how you heal it. You just, whatever you feel, whatever you want, whatever you're aroused by, whether it be drugs, sex, alcohol, whatever, or other things that I've not even thought of yet, and just go with it. That's the thing, to just go with it. And when you're going with it, what you're actually doing is you're soothing and healing that wound. That wound is manifested. That wound is part of the unconscious self, the subconscious mind. And it manifests to show you, that's the subconscious mind interacting with the conscious mind. A lot of people, ask, how do I tap into the subconscious mind? Well, you pay attention to what arouses you, right? You pay attention to the reactions, the arousal reactions. That is your subconscious mind communicating with you. And then you know what you need to work on. You know? So just pay attention to what you feel. You know, and to just go with it. Just go with whatever you feel, and what will happen over years, as happened to me, is you'll want things less and less until you get to a state where you're very, very still, very present. And that's when the people talk of Kundalini and Tantra and that kind of orgasmic core essence energies. Those are at the bottom, the core of who you are. And they start awakening once you've healed enough. So basically, pleasure is the quickest route to ascension. My spiritual awakening was very painful, right? But I've learned through this awakening process that it didn't have to be that way. It could actually be a very pleasurable journey, but the system obviously programs us to believe that we should not go with what we want, and basically programs us to feel bad about ourselves. You see? So if someone's addicted to drugs or sex, you know, there's different labels that come in, and then people feel worse about themselves, and then they do someone worse. You see? So it's about shaming people for not conforming to what the system believes you should be. Remember, everything that's created in this world, it's created by the system, and then we have to repeat it, and that's how they program people. And it's about getting us away from our core essence, our true divinity, which is unconditional love, tantric life force energies. And these energies are only accessed when you've done a lot of inner healing. It doesn't happen through any, you know, I'm just talking about my experience, my own spiritual awakening path. And it comes after, well, in my experience, years of healing. And it's like right at the stomach, the core of what you are. And so that is the quickest pathway to that, is to just go with what you want. So if you have a sexual urge by yourself or with someone, go with that. If you have a food urge, go with that. If you have this urge, that, whatever it is. It's like I talk about semen retention, but a lot of people think that because I talk about that I'm anti-sex or anti-porn or anti-this. No. That's how the program works. You're either that or this. No, because it's all made up. Well, I'm neither or. You see, what I am is nothingness. As everything at some point has to come from nothingness, but within that nothing is a powerful something, you know, and that powerful something is the core of what you are, and it's just this orgasmic, beautiful, unconditional love energy that loves you no matter what, and you are that at the core of you. You see, and like I've mentioned on this talk, that through this pathway for 10 years. It's just been it's about deprogramming and reprogramming yourself until you're at the point of nothingness, and that's when you're at this core. So don't listen to what anyone tells you, just go with what you want. Live a life of pleasure. Why wouldn't you do that? What is wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with it. And as you're doing that, this is what I realized. This was, I don't know how many years, but at the start of the awakening, it was very traumatic, facing a lot of deep stuff, lots of crying, but it didn't have to be that way. I found out years later on the journey, because I get that information downloads, that, you know, and I also heard, I've heard people saying it. There's one channeler I watched, and can't remember man or woman, but basically, you know, going with what you want, let's go what you want. You know, if you just go with what you want, that's how you let go of what you want. And then these unconscious, that's how you, that basically what you're doing is it's like you're putting these, you're soothing these unconscious wounds and getting to the core of what you are, which is nothing, but within that nothing is an unconditional love. That is the power of life manifestation. And then when you start ascending enough, you start feeling this energy in different parts of your body. Then it becomes your body. And there's also a thing called energy orgasm, which I've not experienced, and basically there's videos on it. It's nothing to do with any healer putting his hands or doing any healings, nothing to do with that. In the videos, the women have reached a certain level of ascension where their energies are peaking, you see? And we all have those energies, and the quickest way to do that is within. I'm at the point now where my whole body all the time feels this energy, and it gets more powerful, more powerful. When I first had my awakening at the start, it was crazy. It was, I mean, I took drugs when I was younger, but this was on a different level to any drug I ever took. And now what's happening is I'm being taken back to that because of the inner work. So at the start, I was being shown what I can have if I do the inner work. There's no quick fixes. There's these, you know, you're not going to get any certificate on this. You have to go within yourself. That's how you do it. And the best way to go within is to listen to what within is saying to you. You know, when you're acknowledging your shadow and your insecurities, you're soothing that trauma. So it's about soothing these wounds, and that's how you heal it, and that's how you ascend the best way possible. And don't feel bad about yourself. And then if you're a man, or even, you know, if you want to practice the semen retention, you'll find it a lot easier if you just go with what you want, because then you won't want to, you know, release yourself or touch yourself or even have sex. You might want to, you know, but, you know, these external things or things that you want will be let go of, you see? And so there won't be any neediness involved. It's more like, you know, if it's with a woman or something, everything's like love making. And that's because you become more present. Because that's what the source is. It's just constant love making. That's what it is. An unconditional love power. And the life manifestation is the love power. So it's about going within, going with what you want, and listening to your inner voice. And don't, you know, demonize yourself or hate yourself for doing that. And then you'll let go of these things that are hurting you. You know, it doesn't matter whether it's sex or anything else. It doesn't have to be a neediness experience. It can be a love experience. If you embody that power, that divine love, then that's what you'll be and that's what you'll experience. And I'm just going to leave it there. For latest updates, talks, news, research, and songs, and much, much more, please do visit my website at www.lovelightfamily.com. Thank you.